Vibe blowing up the J. Got the loud jumping up the bag. Everything I'm on slack. Everything I do is got the band jumping up the bag. Vibe blowing up my J. Got the loud jumping up the bag. Everything I'm on slack. Everything I do is got the band jumping out the bag. Another milestone, look at that. Paper boy, I'm a paper route till I'm 6 down on my back. I'm an old soul like my dad. My old girl's still a fan. The yo girl at the live show, so don't act like I ain't the man. I'm kicking my feet up, get frank like Aretha. I'm calm, but I'm teed up, just flip me a stack. The re-up just doubled up off of the muscle, I stuck to the task. They see me, I'm troubled, I'm bubbling up till it's stuck, and they want me to stay where I'm at. I'm good everywhere that I'm stepping, my presence is crucial. You know that this shit not no trend. On a big wave, I'm controlling the tide. Snake eyes when you rolling the dice. So with the stakes inside, I could never take another nigga advice. They can't reach the sky, I'm aiming up high. Just wanna know what it's like. Y'all know what it's like, I come from outside of this. Out the quicksand, I'm the big man, doing big things. Cop a big change, up a state lines, doing stage dives on cam. Get my good side. It ain't no limit to my vision. Check the temp, I'm on fire with it. Got the band jumping out the bag, Prosecco on ice. I'm nobody nice, gon' run up a check. Demand my respect. I'm doing the most, I never quit. They want me to quit. I'm good as it come, I'm good as it gets. Vibe blowing up the J. Got the loud jumping out the bag. Everything I'm on slack. Everything I do is got the band jumping out the bag. Vibe blowing up my J. Got the loud jumping out the bag. Everything I'm on slack. Everything I do is got the band jumping out the bag. Vibe blowing on the J.
She might be what I need. She gets spicy, want taste this, come bite me. Yeah, I'm icy, way too icy. I get paper, on big screen, I'm Spike Lee. I'm vibing, too wavy. I could tell they wanna get like me. Timid straight shooter, I'm dumping the clip that I'm dipping. Hitting the mark with the weightiest art. I rage with my heart and it's right with my wrist.
I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business.
Please don't pretend with that love that you sending is fuck if you like me, I call me the Bennett. Somebody tell God forgive me, I'm sinning. I think that she know, but he got me, I'm winning. Cloud is a dangerous drug and your phone is the plug. Everybody on that shit pretending. So many lost and they chasing what's trending. Boy, yeah, let's forget it, I'm back to my senses. I'm only helping a man in the mirror. From here on I'm open, I'm focused. Okay, I lied, if you riding, I'm riding. I put on the folks and trust in me. Get with it, come fuck with me. I don't, but it's love, you stuck with me. I'm coming in clutch for me. Get with it, they get lost, ain't nobody touching me, yeah. She like me, she might be what I need. She get spicy, want taste this, come bite me. Yeah, I'm icy, way too icy. I get paper, on big screen, I'm Spike Lee. vibey, just vibey. Too wavy, and she and they won't get like me. I'm vibey, just vibey. Too wavy, come and get like me. She like me, she might be what I need. Too icy, way too icy. I get paid, a big screen, I'm spiky. I'm vibey, just vibey. Too wavy, I could tell they wanna get like me. I'm vibey, just vibey. Too wavy, come and get like me.
Before you tell me that I've changed a lot, take a minute to consider a lot has changed me.
Yo, what up, y'all? It's your boy Rob coming back at you once again with another live stream. So before we get started, you already know what to do. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit the bell icon twice. Smash the like button, share this video out to all of your followers, and let's get it cracking. All right, so shout out to everybody who is in the building early. It's good to see each and every one of you. Hopefully everybody can hear and see everything clearly. If you can, please give me a thumbs up or some membership emoji in the chat. If you guys cannot, please give me a thumbs down or an angry face. While you guys are doing that, I'm going to shout out everybody who is in the building early. All right. Shout out to Win Loser Rug. What's good with it, bro? Good to see you as always. Shout out to Miss Nisi. Also, shout out to Miss Nisi for joining the membership. Definitely appreciate it. Got to give her some more props for that. So shout out to Miss Nisi for funding the organization.
How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the marching times.
And shout out to Miss Nisi for standing on business.
I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business.
Definitely appreciate it. All right. So what we're going to talk about today is we're going to talk about the beef that's going on in South Carolina. All right. Because there's a beef going on in South Carolina as a result of the migrant crisis and sanctuary policy. All right. Shout out to my man Cameron Jones. What's good with it? So my question for you guys initially, we talked about this very briefly last time and we watched a couple clips, but we're going to dive into it in depth in this live stream. All right. My question is, how many people know about this beef that's going on in South Carolina between Nancy Mace and Sheriff Kristen Graziano is how I believe you pronounce her name. If you all are familiar with this situation, give me a thumbs up. If you're not familiar with the situation, give me a thumbs down. And shout out to Cameron for getting familiar with becoming a member. Definitely appreciate you, bro. Shout out to my man DeAndre for being a like enforcer. Make sure y'all throw some undocumented emoji in the chat for DeAndre enforcing the likes. And we gotta shout Cameron out for funding the organization, all right, and growing the organization.
How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the marching times.
And you know the members stay standing on business.
I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business.
Facts. Shout out to DeAndre. You better thank a channel member. You better thank a channel member. You know what I'm saying? Facts. All right, so this situation is very interesting. All right, I'm not going to tell you guys too much about it initially. All right, I just want to see if you all are familiar. All right, what we're going to do first is we're going to talk about a situation that took place in South Carolina. All right, then we're going to move into talking about this situation between Nancy Mace and Sheriff Kristen Graziano. And at the end of talking about all this, we're going to ask the question, who's right versus who's wrong? All right. So let's take a look here. All right. And shout out to y'all, man, funding the organization. I had to pay, you know what I'm saying, to get the paywall off of these so that I could talk about this stuff for you guys. Y'all already recouped the cost on it, man. I appreciate y'all. ICE is looking to lease space within Myrtle Beach International Airport. All right. Now, let me ask you guys this question. What do you all think that ICE is looking to lease space within the Myrtle Beach International Airport for? All right. Now, this is an old article. All right. This is going to lead us into where we're going. This is from August 1st of 2021. All right. So what do you all think that ICE was looking to lease space in the Myrtle Beach International Airport for? We are going to find out. All right. We're going to find out. The Myrtle Beach International Airport is looking to lease space within the airport to the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency, a move that has some social justice advocates upset. All right. Why would people be upset about that? Who would be upset about it? We don't even know what it's for yet. Let's just get upset, right? Horry County Council initially approved the measure to allow ICE space within the airport on August 17th. A second reading and public input for the ordinance will be September 7th. ICE officers already work at the airport, according to spokesperson Ryan Beecher. But this proposed lease agreement would provide the agency a space in the building. All right. So now, again, here's my question. Why would anybody have an issue with ICE having space in the building? Shout out to AB Promotions. What's good with it, bro? We're going to get into that. Shout out to Cameron, right? We're definitely going to get into that. All right. And shout out to everybody watching. I appreciate you all. If you all have not smashed the like button yet, please do me a favor. Take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you all have not hit that bell, please take a moment, hit the bell, and also please share the stream to your social media. Shout out to DC Precise. What's good with you, bro? We got the whole crew in here. What's good with everybody? All right. Beecher said ICE would need to clarify how it plans to use the space within the airport, but provided the following statement. ICE fulfills a federal law enforcement function related to immigration and national security. Now, I would agree with that, right? However, I would also say that their abilities to do their job has been severely limited as a result of policies and lack of law enforcement by the current administration. If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, then give me a thumbs down. Myrtle Beach International is not the first airport to have a relationship with ICE, as many airports across the country are participants in what the immigration agency refers to as ICE enforcement and removal operations. All right. So now, you know, when it comes to this, right, it's going to get spent all the way to the most extreme position. So if there's any type of law enforcement involving immigration or involving border enforcement, it's going to get spun into xenophobia, anti-immigrant rhetoric, despite the fact that it's not. It's simply law enforcement. If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs down. The goal of the division is to identify, arrest, and remove immigrants who present a danger to national security or who are a risk to public safety, according to the agency's website. What do you all think about that definition? Is that something that we need, or is that something that we could do without? Let me know if that's something that we need or if that's something that we can do without. I think that that's something that we need. ICE has come under fire in recent years from critics for its quote-unquote treatment of immigrants, especially children, within detention facilities. Ashlyn Breer, co-founder of Grand Strand Action Together, a nonprofit social justice organization, says she believes that ICE shouldn't exist. So Ashley Breer has the same sentiments about ICE that Kamala Harris said. She has the same sentiments about ICE as Kamala Harris. Now, we're going to get the temperature on the room, all right? How many people in here believe that ICE should exist and ICE has a function? If you guys believe that ICE should exist and ICE has a function, give me a thumbs up. If you guys do not think that ICE should exist and you think that ICE should be abolished, then give me a thumbs down. And of course, if you do think that ICE should be abolished, you know what I'm saying, you will not get immediately blocked, right? We don't do that. You definitely, voice your opinion, but just be forewarned. I'm assuming a lot of people will be in disagreement with that, all right? ICE was created in like 2003, so that's not even something that has existed for really, really a long time, Breer said. it's one of those things I don't think we need in our society at all. I don't think that this explanation was a justification for the removal or dismantling of ICE. I don't think that that statement sufficiently satisfied the position of quote unquote, we don't need ICE. I think that that statement was just a highly opinionated statement that really did not have any support to why ICE should or shouldn't exist. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says, this is not the first time the county has received criticism for a partnership with ICE. Residents complained in 2018 about a program that allows offices like Horry County Sheriff's Office to deputize police officers to enforce federal immigration laws. The partnership is ongoing. Now, this is important, right? This right here is important because this is going to go into what we're talking about. And I'm glad that they got this article right here because we're going to take a look at this. All right. This really, I'm really glad that they had this link here. Okay. So that's it. All right. That's it for that. So next, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at that link that I just put up. All right. Because now we're going to run into some problems. Okay. And this is where the beef between Nancy Mace and Sheriff Kristen Graziano occurred at. Okay. So give me 1 second. Let me just get this article, or let me just get this ad past this article real quick. And while you guys are waiting, please do me a favor, take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you all have not hit the bell, please take a moment, hit the bell, and also please share the stream to your social media. All right, let me see. I think I got everything here. All right, yeah. So let's check this out real quick.
News 13 and 11 start now.
A good evening to you, and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Bob Chubet.
And I'm Nicole Boone. First at 11, some people in Horry County say the sheriff's office should not be part of a federal program for enforcing immigration laws.
News 13's Chris Spiker tonight explains why, and also why the sheriff disagrees.
All right, so you see the people in the city, according to the local news, the people in the city do not believe that the city should be a part of this ICE program. I got this feeling this is going to come back to bite these people.
News 13 and 11 starts now.
A good evening to you, and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Bob Chubet.
And I'm Nicole Boone. First at 11, some people in Horry County say the sheriff's office should not be part of a federal program for enforcing immigration laws.
News 13's Chris Spiker tonight explains why, and also why the sheriff disagrees.
I can't see myself ever being brought in on a driver's license violation.
About a dozen people told the Horry County Sheriff and representatives from U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, why they don't want the county jail to stay in a program called 287G.
Now, I need you guys to remember that, 287G. Everybody in the comment section, type in 287G. Type in 287G. This is extremely important.
It's Horry County, or it's Conway, or it's the state of South Carolina, or it's the United States. It's still my tax dollar, okay? And I think it's being wasted.
287G allows 3 ICE-certified corrections officers at J. Reuben Long Detention Center to check the immigration status of anyone brought to the jail that wasn't born in the U.S. It also allows the jail to share information with ICE agents.
Now, here's my question. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? Is that bad? Is that good? Or is anybody indifferent about that? That doesn't sound like a bad program. However, if where you are is a sanctuary city or a sanctuary state, right, that would be directly in conflict with that. Now, here's my question for you guys. How many people have heard of program 287G? If you have heard of program 287G, then give me a thumbs up. If you have not heard of program 287G, then give me a thumbs down. All right. Shout out to DeAndre. DeAndre said, not a damn thing.
What kind of shit is that?
Right. So let's let's just reel it back again, right? We're going to listen to why people would have an issue with this.
Representatives from U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, why they don't want the county jail to stay in a program called 287G.
Whether it's Horry County or it's Conway or it's the state of South Carolina or it's the United States, it's still my tax dollar, okay? And I think it's being wasted.
287G allows 3 ICE certified corrections officers at J. Reuben Long Detention Center to check the immigration status of anyone brought to the jail that wasn't born in the U.S. It also allows the jail to share information with ICE agents. Those against 287G say the program is unnecessary, hurts families, and targets minorities.
Now, here's my question for you guys. We're going to have a back and forth with the people in this county here. All of the things that they said that this particular program does, based on your observations of how the migrant crisis has been going, do you agree with what these people say?
To share information with ICE agents. Those against 287G say the program is unnecessary, hurts families, and targets minorities.
It's unnecessary, hurts families, and targets minorities. Is that true?
The program then becomes an extra added.
Look at Damian Fowler, y'all. Look at Damian Fowler. Look at Damian Fowler. What y'all noticed about Damian Fowler? Look at Damian Fowler. You know what I'm saying?
The program then becomes an extra added incentive to racially profile people.
Does it? Does it? Anytime you've gotten pulled over by the cops, has anybody asked you to speak a second language, or do you speak English? And is your language a race? Look at Damian Fowler, y'all. I want y'all to put the crosshairs on Damian Fowler and make sure you got your sonar listening very closely to what he's saying. Now, is what he's saying true? Are these actual arguments, or are these programmed arguments? When has here's my question, right? Now, I wouldn't disagree if we were talking about police, right? But we're talking about ICE agents. Let me ask you guys this question. How many times have ICE agents shot unarmed black people in the back? As a matter of fact, when the last time an ICE agent shot anybody? When is the last time ICE agents have been put on blast for private communications showing racist memes or racist tropes of black people who were killed by the police? So here's my question. Why would this dude get up here and say that? So based on what he got up there and said, pretty obvious where he stands politically, pretty obvious who he's probably going to be voting for this year, right? What do you guys think?
The program then becomes an extra added incentive to racially profile people.
During Wednesday's meeting, ICE...
So now here's my question. When you got people like Damian Fowler who will get there and get up in front of a microphone and say something like that, who's supposed to be responsible for that? Who's supposed to be accountable for that? Shout out to DC Precise. I gotta agree, bro. If you guys agree with DC Precise, it's too early for the babble. Give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. I gotta agree. Way too early for this. Way too early for this.
Said 287G's goal is to find anyone not in the country legally if they commit a crime.
For 2018, 90%.
So I want you guys to understand, according to the way that they're explaining this, this particular program only dives deep into this investigation for immigrants, illegal, right, or otherwise, who commit crimes. So if you don't commit crimes, more than likely you won't be on the radar of a program like this. Shout out to Brooklyn Queen. What's good with it, Brooklyn Queen? If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs down. And shout out to everybody that's watching. I really appreciate you guys. If you all have not smashed that like button yet, please do me a favor. Take a moment, hit that like button. Also, if you guys have not shared the stream to your social media, please take a moment, share the stream to your social media. Shout out to DeAndre. DeAndre says it's too early to Terry. Bro, man, listen.
Is to find anyone not in the country legally if they commit a crime.
For 2018, 90% of all persons arrested by ICE either had a prior criminal conviction, a criminal arrest, or already had what's called a final order of removal.
Now, that's important what this guy just said. Did you? I wanted to make sure that you guys heard what he said. Now, mind you, this is an old article. Shout out to Ricky Guillory. What's good with it, bro? This is an old news article. Now, let me ask you guys this. Do you all think that these situations here have gotten better, or these situations here have gotten worse?
Legally, if they commit a crime.
For 2018, 90% of all persons arrested by ICE either had a prior criminal conviction, a criminal arrest, or already had what's called a final order of removal.
This was in 2018. He's talking about statistics from 2018. So with the current statistics that we have now, better or worse? Shout out to Rick. Rick says worse. If you guys agree with Rick, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree with Rick, give me a thumbs down. Yeah, I would say it's probably trending worse. I would say that's probably trending worse. And at this time, right, at this time, when this particular news article came out, these people in this community were highly against this program.
Legally, if they commit a crime.
For 2018, 90% of all persons arrested by ICE either had a prior criminal conviction, a criminal arrest, or already had what's called a final order of removal.
The program is voluntary, and the Horry County Sheriff's Office has encountered 150 people without legal status, 30 of which were deported since joining 287G in April. Sheriff Philip Thompson says the program doesn't target immigrants outside of jail.
So the program doesn't target, like I said, I didn't say it in those words, but like I said, this is a program that for the most part puts the spotlight on you if you have committed a crime. This individual here validates that and says that this doesn't put a spotlight on people outside of the jail. This only puts a spotlight on people inside of the jail. Why would you not want a program like this?
We don't come in contact with anyone unless they're booked in to this facility, charged with a criminal offense.
ICE says only about 2% of people booked at J. Reuben Long since 287G started were not.
Shout out to DeAndre for enforcing the likes. We are on the 1-to-1 ratio, y'all. That's what's good. Shout out to y'all with that engagement. Make sure y'all throw some 100s in the chat. Definitely appreciate it.
U.S. citizens and screened. The current agreement keeps the Horry County Sheriff's Office in the program until the end of June. Reporting for News 13, I'm Chris Spiker.
All right, so there's that. All right. So now what we're going to do is we are going to look at the ACLU in South Carolina, all right? Because the ACLU in South Carolina has some very interesting positions on this, all right? Now, this is an article from January 5th of 2021, all right? And this is an article that talks about what ended up happening to this program called 287G. All right. ACLU of South Carolina praises decision to end Charleston County's 287G agreement with U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. How do you think this turned out? The 287G program encourages widespread racial profiling, wastes millions of Charleston County tax dollars, and undermines relationships between local law enforcement and the communities that they serve. How so? How do all these things happen here? Or do these things happen? How do all these things happen? Now, I want you guys to see this here on the side, all right? And it might repeat as I read in the article later, but it says, good news. Thanks to Sheriff Kristen Graziano, that's Nancy Mace's arch nemesis at the moment. You know what I'm saying? We already know she left a sword sticking out of Michael Eric Dyson's back, right? Charleston has ended its 287G agreement with the federal government. The 287G program encourages widespread racial profiling, wastes millions of Charleston County tax dollars, and undermines relationships between the local law enforcement and the communities that they serve. This is a good step forward to ensuring the safety and well-being of all people in Charleston. Now, with those statistics that we talked about from back in 2018, how does this improve safety? How would something like this improve safety? Would something like this improve safety at all? I don't understand how this would improve safety. If you ask me, something like this would undermine safety. Something like this absolutely undermines safety. And the reason why is because what you're doing with something like this is you're taking away another form of screening that would be available to see what level of risk the people are who are being housed in those prison or jail facilities. Okay? Today, Charleston County Sheriff Kristen Graziano announced the termination, all right, the termination of the Charleston County Sheriff's Office 287G agreement with U.S. Immigration and Custom Enforcement. The 287G agreement, which has cost Charleston County taxpayers millions of dollars, and they don't have an itemized report here, authorized Charleston County Sheriff's deputies to engage in federal immigration enforcement. I don't know what's bad about that. Graziano pledged to end the agreement in a candidate questionnaire submitted to the ACLU of South Carolina. All right, so we're going to look at this candidate questionnaire real quick. Okay. We're going to take a look at this candidate questionnaire. Okay. And we're going to see exactly what Sheriff Kristen Graziano said. All right. So here it says, see where the local candidates stand on civil liberties and civil rights. All right. So now, as you guys know, this would be something that would be affected by a local election, right? The election for Charleston County Sheriff on November 3rd can help shape the county's policies on the role of policing in our community, immigrants' rights, and law enforcement accountability. The Charleston County Sheriff can adopt policies that will make our community safer and more just for all. So now, getting rid of that, does that sound like something that'll make the county safer or more or unsafe? Pretty obvious, right? Make sure you know the candidates' positions on key civil liberties and civil rights issues. The ACLU does not endorse or oppose candidates, but urges you to cast an informed vote. And I disagree. They do. They have their preferences. All right. So we're going to look here. All right. This is Kristen Graziano. All right. This is the other guy, Al Cannon. All right. Commits to end 287G, a program working with the Trump administration to detain and deport immigrants. Kristen Graziano, yes, she'll do it. Al Cannon, no, he will not. Commits to ban no-knock warrants, which allow law enforcement officers to enter someone's home without knocking. Yes. Now, here's the problem. We're going to lump these two things together, right? But how has no-knock warrants affected immigrants? How many immigrants have died as a result of no-knock warrants? But see, when you're in that package plan, right, they get to package everything up. You see how that works? Commits to establish an independent advisory board to give community members a larger voice in the sheriff's office. Kristen Graziano says yes. Al says no. Commits to stop new acquisitions of military equipment. Kristen says yes. Al says no. Commits to enact a use of force policy that directs officers to use de-escalation whenever possible. Kristen says yes. Al says no. Commits to reducing the sheriff office budget and redirecting savings to fund community programs, aka defund the police. Kristen says yes. Al says no. Commits to build a publicly accessible database tracking claims of officer misconduct. Kristen says yes. Al says no. So I want you guys to see what went on here. What went on here? Both of these candidates failed, but Kristen won the race. Now, how do you deal with that? How do you deal with that? See, this is the problem. This is the problem. Most of the stuff on Kristen's side, I would actually agree with, except for the top. Except for this one here, commits to end 287G. I wouldn't agree with that one. I would reevaluate no-knock warrants, possibly come up with some type of stepwise improvement for how they do them, right? Commits to establishing an independent advisory board to give community members a larger voice in the sheriff office. I wouldn't have an issue with that. Commits to stop acquisitions of military equipment. It depends. I'd have to reevaluate it, right? Commits to enact use of force policy that directs officers to use de-escalation whenever possible. I don't have a problem with that. Of course, there would have to be process assessment and improvement, right? Commits to reducing the sheriff's office budget and redirecting savings to fund community programs. I don't know if I would necessarily do that. I would look into using the budget more effectively, right? Commits to build a publicly accessible database tracking claims of officer misconduct. I would do this, and I would build other databases. Again, this is if it was me, but it's not me. So I don't even think all of Kristen's policies are bad. But the problem is that she got the monolith voting package there. And as a result of the monolith voting package, everybody's going to vote based on all of the yeses. And she got a lot of yeses. That's why the monolith needs to get broken apart. If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs down. That's the problem. Therein lies the problem. All right. So now we're going to go back to this article from the ACLU. All right. So we know that Kristen has gotten rid of 287G. All right. The 287G program encourages widespread racial profiling. How? Wastes millions of Charleston County taxpayer dollars. They only have 3 sheriffs that they give these privileges to. How does it waste millions? Undermines relationships between local law enforcement and the communities they serve. How? How does this program do any of these things that it's saying that it does? Has anybody heard an explanation on how this program does any of these things that they're saying that it does? The goal of our public safety system is to ensure safety and well-being of all, and the 287G program fails that basic test. How? Is there an explanation of how it fails this test? Charleston County must focus its resources on the needs outlined by the community, and Charleston County voters made clear that it is time to end its 287 agreement. So now I want you guys to see the accountability here is on the voters. If you guys would agree that the accountability here is on the voters, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would not agree that the accountability is on the voters, then give me a thumbs down. Shout out to my man Carlton. What's good with it, bro? We thank Sheriff Graziano for keeping her promise to the voters and pledge to the ACLU. Now, let me ask you guys this. Do you think that she kept any of these other promises? And did you notice? And did you notice? And look, I want you guys look at the fists there. Look at this. You guys seen these before, haven't you? Look at these fists. This. Now, why is this here? Now, listen, they said that they don't have a preference. They don't have a preference on which politician wins, right? I disagree. Why do you have these insignia on your page if you don't have a preference? What do those fists mean? They might not mean what you think they mean. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says today's action by Sheriff Graziano leaves just 3 South Carolina counties in the 287G program. These counties are Horry County, Lexington County, and York County. All right, so it's only 3 counties left in the program. All right. So now we're going to dive a little bit deeper into this. All right. We ain't doing this. Right. We're going to dive a little bit deeper into this. And shout out to everybody watching. I appreciate you guys. If you all haven't smashed the like button yet, please do me a favor. Take a moment. Smash that like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, please take a moment. Hit the bell. And also, please share the stream to your social media. All right. Now, September 25th. Fast forward in time. 2024. Not that long ago, right? Not that long ago. Still relevant, right? News travels fast in some places, slow in others, right? News travels fast in some places, slow in others, right? I saw more people talking about the exchange between Nancy Mace and Michael Eric Dyson, my bad. Yeah, Michael Eric Dyson. Then I saw talking about this. So, of course, I figured, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. Because what information value did anybody get out of the messiness between Michael Eric Dyson and Nancy Mace? Some laughs, some funny laughs, some cheap laughs, right? But if immigration is such a pressing issue, and for the most part, we know Michael Eric Dyson's position on immigration, why not see what Nancy Mace was talking about as far as immigration? Why not see why she was on CNN in opposition of Kamala Harris to begin with? Because nobody really cares. Very few people care. Shout out to the 20 people who are watching here. You guys care. The problem is that there's more than 20 people voting. If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs down. And again, voters take accountability. Voters take accountability. On this channel, the actual causes of issues, on all of my channels, the actual causes of issues will be addressed. There will not be any gaslighting to make people feel good. If you want to feel good, you know how to make yourself feel good. Go do that. You know what I'm saying? Charleston County immigrants praise canceled deal with ICE, but await bigger improvements. Now, you got to ask yourself the question, are a lot of these people here criminals? Because again, we just extensively talked about 287G, and 287G doesn't even deal with anybody until they actually hit a prison or a jail. So why would these people be concerned about this program leaving if they have no criminal ties? If it makes sense, give me a thumbs up. If it doesn't make any sense, then give me a thumbs down. For years, the Charleston County Jail held people who were not charged with breaking Palmetto state law, instead funneling undocumented immigrants detained across the Carolinas to federal court. So when Sheriff Kristen Graziano, who took office in January, canceled her department's agreement to house federal immigration detainees alongside local inmates, she hoped the move would be the first step in rebuilding ties with the county's communities of undocumented individuals. So, and I had let me see something real quick, because I literally just subscribed to this. I don't know why it's doing the paywall. Give me 1 second here. I don't know why it's doing that. Let me see. Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that. Like, I literally just got a subscription to this, and it's hitting the paywall. All right, whatever. So I'll tell you what, I don't know what's going on with this, but when I figure it out, hold on, give me 1 more second. Try this again real quick. It might be the cookies. I don't know why it's doing that. Yeah, looks like you already have access. Your subscription started on 10/13 of 2024. Yeah, I can't get into it. And then it keeps logging me out for some reason. Manager subscribe, like let's see, manager digital account. Let me see something real quick. I'm gonna try one more thing. Yeah, it's looking like it's not even letting me log in for some reason. Hold on real quick. Please log in to view your. Yeah, I don't know why it's doing this. Hopefully it'll let me read the other ones. All right, so anyway, that's all. That's okay though. We'll take a look at this. All right. So now what we're about to do is we're about to take a look at what Nancy Mace has said about Sheriff Kristen Graziano in response to her canceling 287G. All right. Now, let me ask you guys this question. If you all were in a place that had a proposition like 287G available for vote, how many people would vote for it? If you all would vote for it in support of it, give me a thumbs up. If you would not vote in support of it, then give me a thumbs down.
Mace for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise today to let the Charleston County Sanctuary Sheriff in South Carolina know that she can run, but she cannot hide. In recent weeks, I've had sources and a whistleblower come forward about the damaging policies of Charleston County's Sanctuary Sheriff, letting off illegal aliens, criminal illegal aliens, onto the streets of Charleston County, South Carolina. She can say that the Charleston County Jail doesn't reside in my district, but when she lets out an illegal alien who's committing crimes against residents of South Carolina, she doesn't get that excuse. She can blame the release of illegal aliens on her department policies all she wants. But what she will not tell you is that she literally drafted and signed off on her own department policies for which she's blaming the reason why she's allowed over 50 criminal illegal aliens out onto the street of South Carolina.
Now, here's the thing, right? I want everybody to be aware of this. Kristen Graziano is denying that she's done this. Now, we know that she has done it because we literally saw all of the evidence from the ACLU websites. If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs down.
She can call me a liar all she wants, but anyone who knows me knows that in Congress or in an oversight committee hearing or any hearing, quite frankly, I bring the receipts, including a receipt from ICE showing she has let off.
She brings the receipts. Michael Eric Dyson can attest to that, can't he?
Over 50 criminal illegal aliens out onto the street of South Carolina. Most recently, as August 23rd, when she allowed a criminal illegal alien who is an alleged pedophile who tried to solicit a minor back out onto the streets. And she blamed that release because she said her department policy is that a judge has to keep him detained. Well, by the way, Sanctuary Sheriff Kristen Graziano, it's your own policies that you wrote and you signed your name to that you're blaming it on. And so when we're up here in Congress, I demand truth, I demand honesty, and I demand integrity. So too do the residents of South Carolina. They deserve to be put first. They deserve to be safe in their homes, safe on the streets, and safe in their communities. And until that changes, Charleston County Sanctuary Sheriff Kristen Graziano is to blame for what is happening in South Carolina today in her own county.
Now, let me ask you guys this question. What's going on in South Carolina? What's going on in Kristen Graziano's county? Anybody that knows anything, let us know. Drop some comments. Drop some links in the Discord. What's going on in South Carolina?
Mr. Speaker, I also want to share that if you go out onto Sanctuary Sheriff Kristen Graziano's Twitter feed, you'll see in her header, she's proudly standing with border czar Kamala Harris. The Biden-Harris administration has allowed our borders wide open for the last 4 years, allowing over 10 million illegals to come into our country illegally. Every town has become a border town. Every county has become a border county. Every state has become a border state. And not on my watch at all, not one more day. ICE even responded to Charleston County's Sanctuary Sheriff Kristen Graziano yesterday and commented on how problematic her policies are, freely releasing criminal illegal aliens out onto the streets of South Carolina.
Now, let me ask you guys this. Why are people supporting policy like this? Does it make any sense? If it makes sense to support these type of policies, give me a thumbs up. If it doesn't make sense to support these type of policies, then give me a thumbs down. Here's an even better question. Why are there so few people talking about this? I got some thoughts as to why. They might not be right. You know what I'm saying? They might not be accurate. Who knows, right? But I got some ideas why people aren't talking about it, but it's cool though. We talking about it. And shout out to everybody that's watching. We got 20 people watching. We got 17 likes. If everybody could take a moment, smash that like button. Let's try to get the likes to 30. All right. To get to 1 to 1, we need 3 more likes. So if everybody could take a moment, hit the like button. Also, if you guys haven't shared, please take a moment and share.
Put up with her lies. And in fact, this morning at 10 a.m., she had a press conference for the local press. She spoke for barely 1 minute and refused to take any questions from any member of the press. That is cowardly. That is shameful. And that is disgusting.
Why do these people not take questions from the press? Do you notice that as a pattern with a lot of these particular people, the Brandon Johnsons, the Kristen Grazianos? Why are they not taking questions from the press? Is that really asking a lot? Is that asking a lot? Like, how much is that really asking for you to answer questions from the people who you're serving and from the people that put you in office? Because here go the thing, right? Just because somebody doesn't vote for you, that does not mean that you're not serving them. People that didn't vote for you are still paying taxes that pay your paycheck. That's only a talking point that works on YouTube, where the average IQ is 25. If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs down. You didn't vote, so you can't talk. No, I pay taxes and I got a mouth. I'm going to talk. That's how that goes. Those idiot talking points only work on YouTube amongst idiots.
Nancy Mace is full of
choice words there.
Yeah,
huh?
very choice words.
Yeah.
Tonight at 6, we are continuing coverage on the ongoing back and forth between Congresswoman Nancy Mace and Charleston County Sheriff Kristen Graziano.
Mace is accusing Graziano of dismantling immigration enforcement in the Lowcountry, and today Sheriff Graziano denied those claims.
So here's what leg to stand on does Kristen Graziano have to say that Nancy Mace is not telling the truth? That's my question. I mean, she literally signed the removal of 287G. So what is there that's not, how is the truth not being told here? Who's not telling the truth? This is my question for you guys. So far, from what we've seen, from what we've watched, hasn't been very much, only 56 minutes, right? Who's telling the truth versus who's not telling the truth? Let me know in the comment section.
Nancy Mace is full of
choice words there.
Yeah,
huh?
very choice words.
Yeah.
Tonight at 6, we are continuing coverage on the ongoing back and forth between Congresswoman Nancy Mace and Charleston County Sheriff Kristen Graziano.
Mace is accusing Graziano of dismantling immigration enforcement in the Lowcountry, and today Sheriff Graziano denied those claims.
Our Deja Smalls was there and breaks down all the details, said.
Yeah, Katie Tessa, in response to several claims Congresswoman Mace made about Graziano's leadership at the detention center, they say they've been following the policy, a policy that was authored by Sheriff Graziano in 2021. And in reference to an alleged arrest of an undocumented person on August 23rd this year, the sheriff's office is still looking into what she may be alluding to and challenges Mace to produce the person who made these claims.
I want to know what the hell is going on in Charleston County.
She needs to do her damn job and let law enforcement do ours.
A back and forth between Congresswoman Nancy Mace and Charleston County Sheriff Kristen Graziano about the handling of undocumented migrants in jails. Mace says Graziano is turning the county into a sanctuary city and is not detaining undocumented migrants in the detention center. Graziano pushing back.
Nancy Mace is full of she clearly doesn't understand the law.
Graziano's statement said in part, "We have never refused an order from a judge, and the ICE officers are the ones responsible for obtaining those orders." Mace has a history of mischaracterizing events for her perceived political benefit, and this letter is particularly egregious. This was Mace's response. Mace wants the sheriff to turn over all documents and communication with ICE by October 15th. The sheriff standing by her team's work.
I'm busy doing that while she's consistently voting against support for law enforcement. I don't have time for this. We don't have time for this. And we're going to continue to do what we've done.
Now, Mace sent a letter to ICE today. So did Representative Jordan Pace, who represents Berkeley County. He also sent a copy of a letter he sent to the sheriff's office asking for the same documentation. Working for you, Deja Smalls, News 4.
All right, so there's that. So that's interesting, right? Interesting. So let's take a look at this. We're going to dive a little bit deeper into this, right? Nancy Mace and Charleston County Sheriff clash in bitter name-calling immigration feud, all right? Now, September 25th of 2024. Wasn't important then. Not important now, right? An ugly political brawl has erupted in Charleston County after Republican U.S. Representative Nancy Mace launched a blistering attack on the Democratic sheriff, accusing her of gutting immigration enforcement in a stunning display of partisan warfare 5 weeks before the November 5th election. The tools deployed so far include a series of congressional letters, questionable accusations, unrelenting social media posts, and a charged House of Representatives floor speech, and the creation of a derisive nickname, Sanctuary Sheriff. Sheriff Kristen Graziano responded with a curt assessment of the situation during a September 25th press conference. She took no questions, but accused Congress and the Congresswoman of being liable for the nation's immigration woes. Now, let me ask you guys this question. Again, why did she not take any questions on this? Why did she not take any questions? Shouldn't be that difficult, right? Nancy Mace is full of blank, so we just saw that. She clearly doesn't understand the law. Graziano continued. She is in a position where she controls Congress and has failed to do her job and is trying to make her failures our problem. Mace doubled down in her charge, largely aimed at how the county jail is being run. She can't run. She can run, but she can't hide, Mace said on the House floor, later adding, her policies are damaging, and I will not allow one more day of this behavior on my watch. The clash, emblematic of the broader national debate on immigration, highlights the ongoing discussion over local law enforcement's role in immigration enforcement. Graziano is seeking re-election and faces Republican former Mount Pleasant police chief Carl Ritchie in the November 5th election. Now, let me ask you guys this question. Based on how things are going today and based on South Carolina, who do you all think is going to win that race? Who's going to win that race? Mace, a Berkeley County resident and 1st Congressional District lawmaker, also is seeking re-election and faces Democrat Michael B. Moore. Now, let me ask you guys this. Who's going to win this race? Is Mace going to win her race, or is this Democrat Michael B. Moore going to win? Most people who engage themselves in the messiness between Nancy Mace and Michael Eric Dyson literally had no idea who Nancy Mace was. No idea what position that she had in the government was. No idea what locality she served. And again, these very same people are the people that are going to be polluting the voting pool on November 5th. And then the year after that, acting shocked when a lot of things are not going their way. You know what I'm saying? While both sides use the media in their talking points, Graziano declined an interview request from the Post and Courier. So again, they're very friendly to these. How are you supposed to stay in business as a media outlet if the politicians are ignoring you? If it wasn't for conservative politicians and some politicians who are Democrats like Eric Adams, who are not, camera shy or who don't have an issue with talking in front of the camera, the media would go out of business. They wouldn't have anybody to interview because a lot of these Democrat politicians, a lot of the left-leaning politicians do not really want to get in front of a camera and discuss what's going on. Why is that? So one thing that you can probably guarantee, if you vote for a Democrat or if you're a Democrat supporter, if you ever need something explained, in most cases, you won't get it. I don't know how that's attractive or why people want that, but I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Mace's office did not grant repeated questions for an interview. All right. So Mace didn't grant any interviews either. The high-profile and exceedingly rare feud between a South Carolina congressional representative and a local sheriff began September 24th when Mace accused Graziano in a 3-page letter of purposefully and systematically allowing criminal illegal aliens to roam free in the Charleston area. The source of Mace's ire was a policy decision, all right? A policy decision Graziano made 3 years ago on January 5th of 2021, her first day elected in office. Now, here's my question. How many people talked about this when it happened on January 5th of 2021? Not very many. What were people talking about January 5th, 2021? It wasn't this. Graziano severed the county's partnership with the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, to deport unlawful immigrants accused of crimes. That sounds like it's getting in the way of immigration enforcement, doesn't it? If that sounds like it's getting in the way of immigration enforcement, give me a thumbs up. If it doesn't, and there's something else going on here, then give me a thumbs down. From the moment you were sworn in as a sheriff, you have systematically dismantled immigration enforcement in Charleston County, Mace charged. You have also made every possible effort to turn Charleston County into a sanctuary jurisdiction. The program at the center of the political feud is known as 287G, and this is why I had you guys write this down, because no one's talking about 287G anywhere, but they're all media outlets, allegedly. and had allowed Charleston County detention officers to perform immigration enforcement duties inside the jail with supervision from ICE. All right. At the time, Graziano said she ended the county's ties with the voluntary program over concerns about cost, which we haven't seen anything itemized that showed where this was causing an issue. We haven't even seen the budgets where it could be shown that this is an issue with the budgets, unlike where we saw the $200 million that went out to Favorite Healthcare in Chicago that's contributing to their budget. Right? So we haven't seen any itemized reports on any of this. That doesn't mean that they don't exist. We just haven't seen them. If they exist, of course, we'll talk about it, right? The Charleston County Sheriff's Office had participated in the program since 2009. Now, here's the thing. How effective was the program? Today, only 3 county sheriff's offices in South Carolina participate in 287G. Lexington, Horry, and York. 3 hours after Mace publicized her letter, Ritchie jumped into the fray. In a statement, he said Graziano's decision to end the jail partnership with ICE has jeopardized the safety of Charleston County residents and highlights the systemic failures of Graziano's tenure as sheriff. In her letter, Mace admonished the Charleston County Sheriff's Office for leaving the program 3 years ago, pointing to supposed dozens of immigration detainer requests denied by the jail since fiscal year of 2021. Mace said she obtained the figures from ICE. The Post and Courier has not been able to independently verify the veracity of these numbers. Mace's office said her data was sourced from the Center for Immigration Studies, publicly available documents from ICE, and information provided by a confidential whistleblower whose identity we will protect. Now, you guys remember what I said about those whistleblowers. Shout out to David Brown. What's good with it, bro? Yeah, see, shout out to Jay. Jay said Favorite Healthcare originally started in the UK before closing up shop and keeping its US company open because it was more profitable. Now, here go my question for you guys. Why do you think it's more profitable? Probably because of those no bid contracts that they got. Those no bid contracts that they got in Chicago, right? So now here it says the Center for Immigration Studies is a conservative think tank that advocates for restricting immigration. Mace's office supplied a cropped image of a report entry that appears to show enforcement and removal operations conducted by ICE in Charleston County. The partial document did not include identifiable sourcing. ICE did not respond to repeated questions asking to confirm the numbers or provide a copy of the report when the Post and Courier asked about the data cited by Mace. Now, they should be able to get, FIOA, Freedom of Information Act requests and be able to get this information, right? But you guys know how the Freedom of Information Act goes. They can kind of just charge a lot of money for those things and make it where it's kind of difficult or unobtainable or need a court order. You know what I'm saying? An immigration detainer is a request from ICE to federal, state, or local law enforcement agencies to notify them as soon as possible before an undocumented immigrant who has been charged with a crime is released from their custody, such as from bail or bond set by a magistrate or judge. Mace also pointed to a specific August 23rd incident in Charleston County involving an alleged unlawful immigrant who was arrested and charged with a criminal solicitation of a minor. And again, there's a pattern with these type of crimes, right? There's a pattern with these particular type of crimes. Amber Allen, a sheriff's office spokeswoman, said they were still researching the August 23rd case, May cited in her letter, saying the sheriff's office never received an order from a judge to hold anyone on August 23rd, 2024. If we had, we would have held them, said Alexis Douglas, another sheriff's office spokeswoman. In her remarks on the House floor, May said her information came from sources and a whistleblower. Asked if Mace ever discussed immigration and concerns about its impact on crime in the Low Country with Graziano in the past, Allen replied, no. This is the first time that the sheriff was made aware that this was a concern of the congresswoman, she said. By mid-afternoon on September 25th, Mace was dialing up her criticism of Graziano, posting on both her official and campaign social media accounts. This was part of a 24-hour span where Mace's congressional X social media account had posted about Graziano more than 23 times. In her letter, Mace also demanded the sheriff's office turn over multiple text and email documents by October 15th, covering areas ranging from communications between sheriff's office employees and ICE to documents relating to illegal aliens apprehended by the Charleston County Sheriff's Office, including the criminal charges brought against each alien and whether the alien was released from custody. An hour after receiving Mace's letter, Graziano issued a response dismissing Mace's documents pursuit as the latest example of the Congresswoman mischaracterizing events for her perceived political benefit, and this letter is particularly egregious. Now, there's a lot of drama, right? Nancy Mace added a lot of drama and theatrics to this, right? However, aside from the adding of the drama and theatrics to this and exaggeration, there are definitely issues with ending 287B. If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs up or give me a thumbs down. Simply by the nature of the program 287G, dismantling a program like that would automatically create barricades and blockades to being able to screen and remove criminal migrants who have been arrested and are in jail. This is not something that people go out into the community and look for people to place in jail. This is a screening of the people in jail. So when it says that this somehow is not in line with the community or this somehow harms the community, the community that this affects is the community of criminals in jail awaiting prosecution who have been convicted of crimes elsewhere and are on a list for deportation. So if you're a law-abiding individual, this in theory should not affect you. In theory. If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs down. And shout out to everybody that's watching. I really appreciate you guys. If you all haven't smashed the like button yet, please do me a favor. Take a moment, smash the like button. Also, if you all have not hit the bell, please take a moment, hit the bell, and also please share the stream to your social media. I suggest that she turn her focus to the people of Low County and do what she does best, whatever that may be, Graziano said. A sheriff's office spokeswoman confirmed the department will process Mace's ask as a Freedom of Information Act request. In a statement, ICE spokesperson Lindsey Williams acknowledged the trend of local law enforcement agencies choosing to limit their cooperation with the federal agency, but did not address the Mace-Graziano dispute directly. So that's interesting, right? Why is there a trend of local law enforcement agencies choosing to limit their cooperation with federal agencies? Why is that a trend? And is that a trend? Is there any graphs or any type of information that we can look at that verifies that as a trend? And make sure you guys shout out the person that unsubscribed. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you guys throw a bell emoji in the chat and thumbs down. You know what I'm saying? Somebody's boo-hooing. Woo-hoo. We're going to give them some tears that they can slip and fall down on their way out. So now here it says, however, while these policies may be well-meaning, they often end up shielding dangerous criminals who victimize the same communities. When local jurisdictions refuse to honor ICE detainers on non-citizens who have committed serious crimes, it is often local immigrant communities who suffer the consequences when these individuals are released. And if you look at Trinde Aragua and the people that Trinde Aragua target, that statement definitely applies to the criminal activities of Trinde Aragua. Okay. Moore, the Democrat challenging Mace, took to social media to criticize Mace broadly and share a clip of her describing immigrants as rapists, the P words, and murderers. she's still not talking about what matters to voters here in low country, Moore said. Now, let me, how many people are familiar with this individual? What was this guy's name? Moore? I'm not familiar with him. We might have to check him out. South Carolina. All right. So there's a couple other articles that talk about this. Yeah, unsubscribe, you know. We need that Stephen A. Smith. We need that Stephen A. Smith drop. We don't care. You know what I'm saying? We don't care. We don't care. A lot of these people want to unsubscribe to reality, but they can't. I mean, they can, you know what I'm saying? But then it'd be hard to finish the rest of life, you know what I'm saying? Mace, sheriff clash over handling of detainees. I think that this is a legit gripe. With 6 weeks until November's general election, U.S. Representative Nancy Mace is accusing Charleston County Sheriff Kristen Graziano of how she is handling immigration enforcement in Low Country. But the Democratic sheriff replied, Mace needs to stay in her own lane. Now, mind you, she replied that she needs to stay in her own lane, but she didn't address any of the issues. Shout out to AV Promotions. AV Promotions said, unsubscribe. Right. Make sure y'all show AV Promotions some love for funding the organization. Throw some flames, some radiation emoji, and some ducks in the chat for AB Promotions funding the organization. You know what? You just made me think of something. I got a new drop that I got to edit and put in here. Y'all gonna be dying laughing when y'all see this one.
How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the March of Dimes.
Shout out to my man AB. So now here it says Charleston County has been recognized as a non-cooperative institution by ICE. Mace wrote in a release on Tuesday. So if they're a non-cooperative institution, what does that mean? What does that mean if they're non-cooperative with ICE? In other words, you are purposefully and systematically allowing criminal illegal aliens to roam free in Charleston County and surrounding areas. You are purposefully putting local residents at risk, adults and children alike. And based on the patterns of these type of crimes, I would go as far as to say other migrants would be in danger as well, especially if we use Trinde Aragua as a gauge of how these things occur, right? Graziano, who like Mace is running for re-election in November, immediately responded to the allegation, saying the congresswoman, whose district doesn't include the sheriff Al Cannon Detention Center, never misses an opportunity to entertain performative politics. I wouldn't disagree. I mean, you know what I'm saying? That's probably true. But at the same time, does that matter if she has a point or not? It doesn't matter because she actually has a point, if you ask me. Mace claimed on August 23rd that the sheriff's office refused to honor a federal immigration detainer request concerning an illegal alien charged with 2 counts of criminal solicitation of a minor. This shouldn't be very difficult to find, right? Like the information attached to this particular claim shouldn't be hard to find. You look at the crimes that were committed or people that were arrested on around about this time, look at the court records from ICE and look at the court records from this county and see if there's any requests, affidavits or whatever that were sent out in regards to a criminal that matches this profile or matches this crime. Shouldn't be difficult, right? Especially if you have access to all this type of information. Charleston County Sheriff spokesperson Alexis Douglas said the sheriff's office never received an order from a judge to hold anyone on August 23rd of 2024. And then they go as far as to say Mace has a history of mischaracterizing events for her perceived political benefit, and this letter is particularly egregious. Graziano added, I suggest that she turn her focus to the people of Low Country and do what she does best, whatever that may be. She needs to let our law enforcement professionals do their job. All right. So there's that. All right. So they summarized that real nicely. All right. So now next, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at 2 news clips. All right. And we're going to look at the letter that Mace wrote. All right. And we're going to look at Kristen Graziano's response. And again, in none of the responses that Graziano has made, there hasn't really been any denial of what Nancy Mace is saying.
I recommend them to everybody that I know. Whenever someone says they...
And real quick, while that ad is playing, if everybody could do me a favor, if you guys have not smashed the like button yet, please take a moment, smash the like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, please take a moment, hit the bell, and also please share this stream to your social media. All right, give me 1 second here. Pull this back here. All right.
U.S. Representative Nancy Mace is accusing Charleston County Sheriff Kristen Graziano of releasing illegal
Shout out to Shamika. What's good with it,
from the
Shamika?
jail back into the Lowcountry community. According to Mace's office, for years now, Graziano has refused dozens of immigration and customs enforcement detainer requests. The accusations, according to Mace, stem from conversations she had with a whistleblower about what's allegedly going on at the jail. Mace is demanding the sheriff's office hand over any communication that it has had with ICE, documents related to illegal immigrants for the sheriff's office arrested.
Shout out to my man Win Loser Rug. Make sure y'all show Win Loser Rug some love. Throw some flames, some thumbs up, and some membership emoji in the chat for Win Loser Rug enforcing the likes. Definitely appreciate you, bro.
And the communication between sheriff's office employees about ICE detainer requests.
But what we've learned so far is very disturbing, and it's sick. These individuals should be deported. They shouldn't even be in our community. And it is up to our sheriff to follow the laws in our country, including all federal, state, and local laws. If you're here illegally and you are committing crimes, those things have to be reported to ICE.
Now, Sheriff Graziano responded that her department is not able to arrest someone because of their immigration status, and no detainee has ever been released unless a judge orders it. She says the jail currently has 13 people that an immigration judge has ordered remain behind bars. Now, in her response to Congresswoman Mace, Graziano said Mace has a history of mischaracterizing events for her perceived political benefit, and this letter is particularly egregious. I suggest that she turn her focus to the people of the Lowcountry and do what she does best, whatever that may be. She needs to let our law enforcement professionals do their job. Mace set a deadline of October 15th for the sheriff's office to hand over this information.
So we got this deadline of October 15th, right? And I don't think we're going to see this information on October 15th. I just got this feeling, you know what I'm saying?
All great garages start from the ground up.
Hold on,
and that begins with a...
So yeah, we got to play past this ad real quick, but we're going to listen to the full 12 minutes of what your girl Nancy Mace had to say. So give me 1 second here. We're about to do like this. Boom. Let's get it.
What the hell is going on in Charleston County with regards to ICE detainers and criminal illegal aliens who the sheriff is allegedly allowing back out on the street? A couple of things. This was premeditated or was set up because I heard from a constituent a couple of weeks ago about an individual who was in Charleston County illegally and was caught for solicitation of a minor. And what we've learned so far is that information was sent to me in my office. And what we learned so far in the week since then, that over 50 individuals who are here illegally have been released with no ICE detainer by the Charleston County Sheriff's Office. We all know what her policy was. We shared headlines of that earlier today. Not even willing to work with ICE. A few weeks after I received that information from a constituent, I then received information from a whistleblower on the things that were going on in Charleston County. Therefore, because of the information brought forward by the whistleblower, we crafted this letter to request more information, and we sent the letter to the sheriff's office today. We will be submitting a letter to ICE tomorrow, so expect that on your radar as well. But what we've learned so far is very disturbing, and it's sick. These individuals should be deported. They shouldn't even be in our community. And it is up to our sheriff to follow the laws in our country.
including all federal, state, and local laws. If you're here illegally and you are committing crimes, those things have to be reported to ICE. You have to work with ICE with regards to the detention of these individuals who are here.
Shout out to Shatera. Now, hold on real quick. We're gonna stop this for one quick second. All right. We're gonna stop this for a quick second. And the reason why we're gonna stop this is because we're gonna look at a couple things and then we're gonna go back to it. All right. We're gonna go back to it. Hold on. I just want to look at one more thing real quick. Okay. All right. So the first thing that we're gonna look at is make sure. Okay. Yeah. So there was this situation that took place here, right? Now, again, I want to make sure for purposes of YouTube, I'm not saying that this is the same situation because I don't have access to the documents to be able to make that claim, right? But 14 charged in undercover child solicitation operation in Mount Pleasant. All right. Look at them people right there. Okay. Look at these people. So let me see something real quick.
At the Steinberg Law Firm, we've been helping injured workers.
They're not playing with giving these attorneys be spending big money on their advertisement. They are not playing. They're trying to get that business. I ain't mad at them. They're trying to get that business. Let me see how long this is. Okay, so this is 10 minutes long. All right, so we can actually take a look at this after we finish listening to what your girl Nancy Mace is saying. All right.
At the Steinberg Law Firm, we've been helping injured workers in South.
Steinberg trying to get a little monopoly going. Steinberg trying to win. They trying to pay to play. I'm not mad at them. All right, let me see. All right, so let's listen to this real quick. This is going to give us a summary. Now, I'm showing this because this was on September 17th. So I believe they said that they had that detainer order for August. So I don't think that anybody involved in this would be who this migrant in question is. But again, like this seems like a common problem. You know what I'm saying? This seems like a common problem. You know what I mean? So let's check this out real quick. Hold on real quick. Hold on real quick. What the hell?
Simon Morris, Stephen Hartfield, Juan Trujillo, Jose Mondragon. Pleasant police have arrested 14 men in the past few months as part of an internet crimes against children sting. Here are those 14 men. They are Simon Morris, Stephen Hartfield, Juan Trujillo, Jose Mondragon, Quinn Tata, Leonard Magwood, Jeremy Williams, Edward O'Connell.
Now, let me ask you guys this. How many of these people that they just named?
Pleasant police have arrested 14.
How many of these people that they just named?
Pleasant police have arrested.
Why is it doing that? How many of these people that they just named do you all think are illegal? Let me know.
Mount Pleasant police have arrested 14 men in the past few months as part of an internet crimes against children sting. Here are those 14 men. They are Simon Morris, Stephen Hartfield, Juan Trujillo, Jose Mondragon, Quinn Tata, Leonard Magwood, Jeremy Williams, Edward O'Connell, Darwin Mendez, Sean Johnson, Zachary Scott, Robert Powell III, James Howell, and Randolph Clark. Live 5's Melissa Rademacher has details of that operation that put them behind bars.
An interagency task force worked for months gathering information online and eventually arrested 10 men for traveling to Mount Pleasant to pursue illegal sexual activities with children. Weeks later, the work led the team to 4 more men also arrested for things like solicitation and attempted sexual conduct with a minor. The state Internet Crimes Against Children commander thanked the local agencies for doing what he says so many across the state don't. That's stepping up and taking care of internet crimes. Task force members say they don't want to pull back the curtain too much on their work, but just know that any website or social media kids are on, they are on it too, and undercover. State leaders say 14 arrests after months of work is an average size sting, and that some of these arrests revealed other victims of those men.
If you're a citizen here and you're served by the Mount Pleasant Police Department, you're lucky. They're just so fortunate to have an agency like this to support this kind of cause.
Shout out to John. What's good with it, bro?
Investigations are near and dear to my heart, and for most of the people you see behind you, that they're very proud of the work they've done on this. Thankful to what we've got behind us, because they have to endure some pretty nasty things, okay? And so if it's not the men and women behind you, it's a real child.
Atkins says kids have to have someone they trust that they can turn to when they've made a mistake without fears of being overly punished, especially when it comes to these tricks and crimes online. In Mount Pleasant, Melissa Rademacher, Live 5 News.
All right, so there's that. All right, so there's that. So we're going to come back to that. All right, we're going to come back to that. So we're going to go back to what Nancy Mace was talking about here. And real quick, shout out to everybody that's watching. I appreciate you guys. If you all haven't smashed the like button yet, please do me a favor. Take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, please take a moment, hit that bell. And also, please share the stream to your social media.
Here illegally. And we're talking about criminals. These are real crimes. Solicitation of a minor is no laughing matter. This isn't a joke. This is real. And these people were let back out on the street by Sheriff Kristen Graziano. And so we are taking all the information we can. We gave her office a deadline of October 15th. We will also give ICE a deadline as well, similarly, as we work toward informing ourselves about what's going on, but also informing local residents about what the sheriff is actually doing, and in this case, not doing. So with that, we'll take some questions. If you can raise your hand physically, or if you can raise your hand in the, I guess there's some kind of icon you can press, or you can let my team know in the chat if you have a question. We're happy to take them. And Gabby, you'll have to, I think you'll have to unmute people as well if there are any questions.
So now they said that she wasn't taking questions. So let's see where that part comes in at, because this is only 2 minutes into this and it's 12 minutes and 55 seconds. So I'm assuming that the rest of this time is probably Q&A. But if you guys recall in the other articles, they said that she didn't take any questions.
Okay,
Afternoon, Congresswoman.
Oh, hey, I can barely hear you. Hang on. I'm going to turn up my volume. Hang on. It's really low. Hang on. Okay, try it again.
Good afternoon. I just wanted to ask, you have 51 incidents in this case. What is making this particularly pressing to address at the moment? And what specifically do you feel like your office can do on this issue separate from an agency like SLED or another kind of review
Abe, let me
agency?
educate you on the federal government. ICE is part of the federal government, is within my jurisdiction as a member of Congress. Her inaction or inability, refusal to actually work with ICE is within our jurisdiction as Congress and as a member of Congress who represents this district. As I mentioned in my opening statement, I came forward to this at this time because 2 things happened. I had an individual send me information about an illegal who was here caught soliciting a minor. That means that individual was allegedly incentivizing, paying for sex from an underage kid. That is disgusting. I also, a few weeks after that, and unrelated, received information in regards to a whistleblower who has come forward. I am obviously protecting that individual, will not state what agency or who they are, or where they are, or anything like that. But when this information started coming in, I was deeply disturbed by it. I think it's one thing to see a headline from a sheriff it has a certain policy. It's another to a few years later now see the results of that policy. I was appalled. I mean, literally an illegal soliciting a minor, paying for sex with a minor, or trying to incentivize, a minor to have sex with an individual. That is disturbing and sick. It shouldn't be happening.
Now, let me ask you guys this question. In watching this type of content and paying attention to this particular area of the news, when it comes to these quote unquote migrant crimes, what are the most common migrant crimes that you all have seen or seen a pattern of? Let me know in the comment section.
And absolutely, with regards to this kind of behavior, there are people who are outraged within every agency and individual within different agencies we've spoken to. People are really pissed off about this. And that's why there have been multiple individuals that have come forward to my office now. And this has been going on for several weeks now. It takes a while to collect information, to collect data, to know what agencies we should be going after and speaking to. But we've had multiple sources and multiple folks come forward, and that's what this is about, is to demand information, request for information. And again, we have another demand letter coming out for ICE in the next few hours, latest tomorrow. All right, next question.
Okay, sorry, my video doesn't seem to be working, but first just wanted to thank Congresswoman Mace for taking the time to speak with us today. I'm asking these for ABC News 4 in Charleston. In the letter, it cites some instances going as far back as 2021. I hope I didn't miss this in your opening statement, but I'm curious if your office has previously reached out to the sheriff's office ahead of today, and if so, what that correspondence has been like between the two.
I have reached out to the sheriff's office about other issues. Most importantly, in January of 2021, on our first day in office, Jamal Sutherland was killed in Charleston County Jail. That instance, when I heard about that awful, horrific, and traumatic event at the Charleston County Jail, I reached out to her initially on behalf of the individuals from that family. And so that was a very heartbreaking case that happened. I have toured the Charleston County Jail. When I learned of 7 to 8 deaths in Charleston County Jail, I wrote a letter to the Department of Justice to have those things investigated. And I was there with multiple members from the Charleston County board. And so elected officials from Charleston County as well toured the facility with me. And since that time, there's even been a higher number of deaths. I believe they're at 14 since she was sworn in as sheriff. That's a whole other story, a whole nother issue that her office faces.
Yeah. Shout out to DeAndre. I got to agree. If you guys agree with this, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. DeAndre says, when are these officials going to understand that under this administration, that no one here is an intruder? Yeah. Yeah. There can't be intruders if there's no barriers or if there's no borders. Right. So yeah, there's nobody's an intruder. It's just free for all, just a buffet. You know what I'm saying? Open air, right?
As I mentioned in my opening statement, I had some individuals come forward to the office in the last several weeks or months with information about illegals in our community that were not able to be detained by ICE, or the sheriff refused to have them detained by ICE. And when I then subsequently also had a whistleblower come forward, the information was too overwhelming to ignore. And that's why we're pursuing it now. And therefore, that's why we're going after both ICE and we're going after the sheriff of Charleston County for more information to find out what really is going on and to get all the documents to back it up.
And a follow-up to, you brought up the DOJ. I know in March of 2023, you asked the Department of Justice to investigate Al Cannon. I believe that started then in November that same year, 2023. Have you
Shout out to Hood Conservative. What's good with it, bro?
Received any update on that investigation and what's going on there?
I don't have a current update right now. I know that the DOJ is investigating, but I don't have an update for them on their investigation yet. But we can follow up with you later, because this was going to be about the letter I sent today. But I'm happy to follow up with you later about it.
That's a follow-up question.
Okay, who does? Abraham, you have a follow-up question.
Yeah, apologies. I just want to be clear. I wasn't questioning that your office has jurisdiction. I just wanted to ask what specifically your office can do that other oversight bodies might not be able to do?
Well, I
What-
sit
what
on the
you-
I sit on the oversight committee, number one, and so that's one of the committees of jurisdiction that I have, and so we have consulted with the oversight committee on jurisdiction, and that's why we're also moving forward because we have the jurisdiction on this. Now, at the state level, obviously that is less my jurisdiction. So I'm specifically interested in Sheriff Graziano's office, the sheriff's office, the county's communications internally about criminal illegal aliens. I want the information that they've exchanged communications between her office and the county and ICE officials. So all of that is part of our jurisdiction, and those are in the letter that we sent out today. That's why we're very specific about the types of communications we were looking for as it relates to ICE detainees and illegals.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. So again, as you guys can see, she's taking questions. The articles lied and said that she didn't take any questions.
Okay, Claire, you have more questions? I love that you guys are asking questions. You guys can ask all the questions. It's great.
I apologize.
No, that's fine.
Thank you. So we received a statement from Sheriff Graziano shortly before this. I'm not sure if your office has seen that as well, but there were two
We have
things
not
that sort of
seen it yet. No.
Okay, so there were two things that stood out to me that the sheriff says in regards to certain things that were in the letter. If you don't mind, I'd like to maybe read them both to you. I can do it individually, and you could maybe give a response to those. In the letter, it talks about CCSO terminating their cooperation agreement with ICE as soon as Sheriff Graziano took office. The sheriff alleges that they believe only 3 of 46 counties in the state still have that cooperation agreement with ICE due to issues with cost and staffing. Just curious if that is something you're aware of, if that coincides.
Don't know, don't care. What I'm focused on are the information that has been provided to my office from whistleblowers and others about what's going on in Sheriff Graziano's office and her sanctuary county policies, which aren't our values.
She also, the sheriff says that CCSO never received an order from a judge to hold someone on August 23rd. That doesn't coincide with the information that your office has received.
Now, the thing is about this order, if there is indeed an order, that should be pretty easy to produce. They should be able to get that from the court record with the docket number, case name, and all of that on there with the date, and be able to present that in a screenshot, in a PDF file. That shouldn't be difficult to produce. So unless they're having some issues with a FOIA, or if it doesn't exist, those would be the only two reasons why we haven't seen that yet. If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs down. So I'm kind of curious as to why the production of this order has not been shown yet.
Yeah, I don't care. What I do care about are criminal illegal aliens that she is allowing out on the street. She literally, by way of her answer to the letter, her response, admitted they let this guy go. This was an illegal who was here illegally soliciting a minor, and she let him just walk back out on the street. And by the way, has not worked with ICE. And so we know this because of the whistleblowers that have come forward to the office.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. If there are no other questions, we will wrap up now, but I will also go back. We'll go and read her response, and then we may reply or respond to it later today as well. I haven't read it in full, but we'll take a look at it after this.
I have one follow-up, if that's okay.
Okay, okay, I just saw your hand. That's your hand right there. That's like the hand icon. That's okay.
Obviously, as you're aware, Sheriff Graziano is up for re-election in November. I'm just curious if you have any plans in endorsing, if I've missed, unless you already have, endorsing a candidate.
I have not endorsed in that race. So I'm in my office and can't talk politics. So this letter was done in my official capacity. Again, multiple people, multiple sources came forward, whistleblowers, etc. And so I am taking that information and running with it. And that's why I'm demanding answers. Now, if Sheriff Graziano wants to deflect on her responsibility as sheriff to keep Low Country residents safe from criminal illegal aliens. By all means, that's not the flex that she thinks it is, defending her behavior. And so I am someone that takes whistleblowers.
Hey, Carlton, she said that's a strange
That's
flex.
not Low Country residents safe from criminal illegal aliens. By all means, that's not the flex that she thinks it is.
Hey, Carlton, she said it's a strange flex. She said it's not the flex that she thinks it is.
Information and running with it, and that's why I'm demanding answers now. If Sheriff Graziano wants to deflect on her responsibility as sheriff to keep Low Country residents safe from criminal illegal aliens, by all means, that's not the flex that she thinks it is.
Oh man, she said it's not the flex. It's not the flex that she thinks it is. Man, I'm dead. Oh, where Carlton at? Oh man. So yeah, check this out. Here's the letter right here. All right. We're gonna take a quick look at this letter. Oh man, I'm dead, man. That's hilarious. Weird flex, bro. Them weird flexes. Hey, hey, them weird flexes, bro. You know what I'm saying? People be flexing kind of weird. They be looking awkward in their tank tops. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says, this is the letter from the Congress. This is the letter that Nancy Mace wrote. All right. We write regarding the sanctuary policies you have implemented in Charleston County in your capacity as sheriff. Your policies embolden criminal illegal aliens and endanger the residents of Charleston County and our surrounding communities. Now, knowing what you know about 287G, would you agree with that initial statement or would you disagree? If you guys agree with that initial statement, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree with that initial statement, give me a thumbs down. I agree with that initial statement. From the moment you were sworn in as sheriff, you have systematically dismantled immigration enforcement in Charleston County. You have also made every possible effort to turn Charleston County into a sanctuary jurisdiction. Under your leadership, the Charleston County Sheriff's Office has refused to provide U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement with adequate hold time to assure custody of illegal aliens and refused to provide ICE with notification you have an illegal alien in custody prior to their release. In fact, Charleston County has been recognized as a non-cooperative institution by ICE. What would cause ICE to recognize them as a non-cooperative institution? Clearly, they're not cooperating, right? You know what I'm saying? So aside from the rejection of 287B, there's probably other instances in which local law enforcement does not cooperate with the requests of ICE. In other words, you are purposefully and systemically allowing criminal aliens to roam free in Charleston County and surrounding areas. You are purposefully putting local residents at risk, adults and children alike. This is not an isolated incident. According to ICE data, since fiscal year 2021, your office has refused to honor at least 51 detainer requests issued by ICE. Now, if these are legit detainer requests, we should literally be able to see physical or digital copies of all 51 of them. I don't know if that's been presented yet or not. Hopefully it has. If it hasn't, probably wouldn't be a bad idea to present it. You know what I'm saying? On August 23rd of this year, your office refused to honor an ICE detainer request for an illegal alien who had been arrested and charged with 2 counts of criminal solicitation of a minor, and instead released this criminal alien on bond. This criminal illegal alien attempted to do that, and I'm not going to read that. Instead of cooperating with ICE, you released this illegal alien and alleged P word back into the community. This is disturbing and sick. As you are aware, Section 287G of the Immigration and Nationality Act authorizes ICE to enter into agreements with law enforcement agencies to delegate the authority to perform certain immigration officer duties to state and local law enforcement officers under ICE's direction and oversight, and to identify and remove criminal aliens from our communities. So again, who would have a problem with that? Shout out to Ricky. Ricky says, what is the detainer request? I believe a detainer request is when the immigration court requests the local law enforcement to detain a migrant, a legal migrant, right, who's in criminal custody already because there are deportation proceedings pending or current deportation proceedings, or they have some type of criminal issue that they have to resolve with the federal court. So it's holding them until they're able to appear or to be transported to federal court. So now here it says, prior to your tenure as sheriff, Charleston County had 287G agreement in place with ICE and worked hand in hand with ICE to enforce our nation's laws and protect our communities from criminal aliens. On your first day in office, you terminated Charleston County's 287G cooperation with ICE. Since you terminated this agreement with ICE, Charleston County Sheriff's Office no longer arrests illegal aliens they encounter, no longer detains illegal aliens prior to immigration proceedings, no longer turns over criminal illegal aliens to ICE for removal proceedings. Given the invasion at our southern border, we are outraged by your disregard for our nation's laws and your failure to cooperate with ICE to keep our communities safe. In light of this, we request you provide our office with the following information by October 15th of 2024. All email and text communications between any employee of the Charleston County Sheriff's Office and any employee of ICE. All documents relating to detainer requests issued by ICE to the Charleston County Sheriff's Office. All documents relating to illegal aliens apprehended by the Charleston County Sheriff's Office, including the criminal charges brought against each alien and whether the alien was released from custody. All internal email and text communications between employees of the Charleston County Sheriff's Office pertaining to the termination of the 287G agreement between Charleston County and ICE. All internal email and text communications between employees of Charleston County Sheriff's Office pertaining to ICE detainer requests and expedited removal orders. Further, we demand you immediately to cease these sanctuary policies. Now, let me ask you guys this. How many of y'all think that this is going to happen? If y'all think that this is going to happen immediately, you know what I'm saying, give me a thumbs up. If y'all don't think it's going to happen immediately, give me a thumbs down. I don't think this is going to happen at all unless they vote these people out. You know what I'm saying? Unless they vote these people out, none of this is going to happen. To arrange for the delivery of documents or to ask any follow-up questions, please contact our office at 202-225-3176. Thank you in advance for your cooperation with this inquiry. Sincerely, Nancy Mace, Member of Congress. All right, so now as you guys know, they're probably not going to cooperate with that. They're probably not going to cooperate with that. So let me see. There was that other video that's talking about these 14 individuals who were arrested in this undercover operation. I'm not sure if it gives any immigrant status or any, documentation status in this press release by the police. All right. Let me see. I'm gonna take a look at this real quick. Yeah, so 14 charged in undercover child solicitation operation in Mount Pleasant. All right. Mount Pleasant police say a multi-agency partnership netted more than a dozen arrests on charges related to online crimes against children. Police provided this list of the 14 men arrested during an undercover child solicitation investigation they called Operation Milkshake, along with the charges they face. All right, so these are the individuals right here. Now, they don't talk about any migrant or, immigration status in regards to any of these individuals. All right. Now, that's not because none of these individuals are or could be migrants, because we don't know. They just don't give that information in these reports. All right. And then also in her district, you got this going on. A John Island man. All right. And as you guys can see, her name is right on the letterhead here. Charleston County Sheriff's Office Sheriff Kristen Graziano. John's Island man charged with multiple counts of solicitation of a minor. All right, this took place on June 24th of 2024. So this solicitation of a minor stuff in this particular area seems to be very prevalent. You know what I'm saying? The Charleston County Sheriff's Office arrested Adam Taylor Cossette, who was 31, of Johns Island on Friday, June 21st of 2024, after a search warrant conducted on his residence in the 1600 block of Valley Oak Road on several charges related to sexual crimes involving children. That's disgusting. Cossette is charged with 3 counts of criminal solicitation of a minor, 1 count of attempted sexual exploitation of a minor in the first degree, and 1 count of attempted promoting prostitution of a minor. Enclosed in this release are affidavits with each charge. Cossette was given a personal recognizance bond for only $25,000 during a hearing on Saturday, June 22nd of 2024. Cossette was booked at the Sheriff Al Cannon Detention Center. Booking photos can be found online at https://inmatesearch.charlestoncounty.org. For photos of people already released, click the Show Past Bookings box. Assisting agencies, including the Charleston Police Department, the Kirkshaw County Sheriff's Office, the Mount Pleasant Police Department, and the United States Secret Service. All participating agencies are members of the South Carolina Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force. All right. So yeah, they got some serious issues going on down there. All right. So yeah, that's it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. I might be able to do another stream later. We'll see. It depends. I got some other stuff I got to do. I wanted to talk about the situation with these prisoners being released in the Congo, because that's interesting, right? And there's been some more data that's come out as far as in regards to the migrant crisis related to the amount of criminal and terrorist migrants that are crossing the border. All right. And again, we got to ask this question about the couch/migrant conflict. It's interesting and nonsensical at the same time. So I think that it's a discussion that people should have in terms of reality. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully you guys enjoyed the stream. You guys already know I'm going to be putting up some clips at some point. Shout out to the stream sponsors. Make sure y'all show Miss Nisi some love. Throw some membership emoji in the chat and some flames. Thumbs up for Miss Nisi, some money bags. Shout out to my man Cameron for joining the membership. Definitely appreciate it. Shout out to AB Promotions. Definitely appreciate it. And as always, ladies and gentlemen,